I'll probably put mine up this week. Okay, drawing movement. Drawing movement. Drawing is an active activity. It takes motion. Everybody, arms up. Straight up. All the way up. Straight, 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 straight. Straight up, Brian. Lock your elbows straight. Okay, move your shoulders up and down. Can you move your arms up and down, keeping your arms straight? Lifting your shoulders. This is shoulder movement. Can you rotate your shoulders like forward and back, keeping your arms straight? So upper arm circles. Good. This is shoulder movement. Okay? Wiggle your elbows now like this. Your elbows can move too, okay? Like this. Move your wrists. Bicep cross. Move your wrists. Twist your wrists. Wiggle your fingers. Stand up. Lean to the left. Lean to the right. Grace is like, I'm not standing up. I'm in a room full of other students. They're crazy. All right, drawing can and should. Zach's like, whoa, what the heck's going on? Takes your whole body, okay? If you are trying to draw the way that you write, then you are not going to be a successful, good drawer and artist, okay? Drawing moves your hand, wrist, elbow, shoulder, and back sometimes. Yeah. Nope. Write them out. Write them out specifically, because I'm going to call you out on things like this. Like, you are only drawing with your elbow, and I need you to draw with your shoulder. And you need to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. If we only draw with my fingers, like if I lock even my wrist and can only move my fingers, my knuckles, I want everyone to try and draw a perfect circle with just your fingers. So see how I'm locking my wrist down? Draw a perfect circle as big as you can. See how big you can get it. You can draw perfect if you can. Mine looks kind of like a circle with corners a little bit. Now, next one, move over and release your wrist. And can everyone, no, not bad enough. Now I want you to twist your wrist. So instead of just your hand like this, my wrist is going to rotate too while I'm drawing that circle. Keep your elbow still on the table. All right, but you can definitely see my fingers shake a lot. Okay, now we're gonna draw with our elbow. So I want you to watch on the little video of me, like me over here, hi, 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 woohoo, over here, yoo-hoo. So see, my elbow is gonna pull back closer to me. My elbow is gonna make a circle itself. I'm almost like drawing with my elbow motion. Mine are getting larger. Ouch.
I have a box.
And then now we're gonna draw with our shoulder too. So not just my elbow, but I'm gonna move my shoulder up at the top, okay? I want my whole arm moving to draw that circle. It's gonna be, go ahead and get them bigger so we can actually move our arms. See how I'm moving my whole shoulders moving back? We'll keep going.
Oh.
Like, you know, you could go over a couple times. Okay, this one we did with only our fingers. This one we did with only our wrist. This one we did our elbow. This one, whole arm. We probably won't really use our back drawing in our sketchbooks until we get to those big papers that are like 2 feet tall. When you are moving with your whole arm, that is healthy movement. Okay, that is healthy. If you are drawing up here, you are going to give yourself carpal tunnel by the end of the semester. Not good. Carpal tunnels where like the nerves in your hand like hurt. I don't know, the tendons or something. It is. It's like tinnitus. We want to use the movement needed to draw in the easiest and painless way. Okay, if your wrist has been hurting or your hand has been hurting by the end of the 30-minute class periods that we've been having, you are drawing too much with your wrist. And you need to use your whole arm. You need to relax.
When you're writing, are you supposed to like use your arm?
Drawing's not writing. But if you're writing and your wrist starts to hurt, you should just switch your pencil to a darker pencil so you don't have to push as hard. But writing and drawing are two separate movements. Consider like writing is the walking and drawing is dancing. Like it takes more subtleties, more little differences, slightly more athleticism. Okay, ghosting. That's supposed to be a G. Ghosting or floating our lines is when we move our tool and our hand in the air above our paper before we actually mark it down. So if I wanted to draw an ellipse, right? We discussed on Friday that ellipses are circles but viewed at an angle. I would ghost or float that shape before sketching it out. Ghosting kind of creates like momentary muscle memory and helps me like visualize lines before we actually put them on our paper. Ghosting or floating. This is a practice that I want you guys to get into when we're sketching everything. Okay, I want you to ghost your lines and float your lines. Gesture drawing is when we are using loose arm movements and hand gestures to create marks. Gesture drawing is meant to connect your whole arm movement to the like contours that you're seeing in an artwork. So if I was going to draw a sphere, including the cast shadow, in a gesture drawing, and I'm going to ghost and float my lines first, I'm going to kind of imagine where I want that sphere to be. And then I'm going to gesture sketch it, which means I'm going to follow that movement, but I'm drawing multiple lines. We want to keep things looking sketchy. Okay, it's also like how we draw our forms more accurate. You guys can all draw perfect circles at this point, okay? Like you know that you can, okay? You might not be very good at it, and it might not take you a while, or it might take you a while, but that's what being a good artist is, taking the while, okay? How much space does everyone have left on their sketchbook page? Does everyone have like at least 4 inches at the bottom? Okay. If you need a new page, go to a new page. I'm going to start on the new page. I want to change. So I don't want you to do this like too big because I don't want it to take us a million days. Yeah, why don't we all just go to a new page? New page. Okay, let's do like a half page. Okay, so this is, you're seeing my whole sketchbook. Go ahead and give me like a half page rectangle. See how I am sketching and gesturing my lines even for my rectangle, even though this is just the outline. And I kind of ghost and float my lines before I commit to them. Even in our notes, I want you to practice good drawing movement of your hand. On Friday, we talked about proximity and placement and how things that are farther away from our eye line or horizon line are closer to us, and things that get closer to your horizon are farther away. What is that, Grace? Someone messing with you? So we're going to put really up high, close to the top, okay? All the way through that rectangle. This is going to be our eye line or our horizon line, okay? That says eye and horizon. Eye line or horizon line. Okay, down here low, I want you to create the top, like surface of a cube. So like draw a parallelogram. This is going to be a table, the top of our table surface. It is below our eye line, which means we can see the top of it. Go ahead and make vertical table legs. Your table legs are going to be vertical, and you might not be able to see that one under this corner. Okay. Okay, back left corner of our table, we're going to put a cylinder on the back left corner. I want everyone drawing in light pressure so you can erase through this, okay? Because we're going to draw some forms layered on top of each other, and then we're going to have to erase certain guidelines, okay? So as I am doing this, I am moving my whole arm. I'm going to kind of ghost my lines first. I want a cylinder that comes not past the horizon line or my eye line. So the top of my cylinder close to the eye line is going to be pretty horizontal ellipse. Going to be a bigger curve as it gets to the bottom table as well, because as that is moving farther away, I could think about, you know, if that was transparent, it would look like that. Now let's put a cube in front of that cylinder. So I want the top of that cube to kind of cover up the bottom of that cylinder. And then you can erase the cylinder that's behind it. And erase the table line that's behind it as well. So now I have a cylinder, I have a cube. Okay, now I want a sphere, but I want the sphere behind the cube, but with space in between the cylinder. So see how I'm ghosting those lines, kind of like floating them first before I kind of actually sketch them. Mine's gonna be a big sphere. Make sure that corner of that cube does overlap it. All right, so I got a big sphere there now. That looks a little funky. Notice I am fixing my mistakes when my cube or when my sphere looks like a egg. I'm fixing it. Why did I get that sphere? There we go. Okay, so I struggled with that sphere. That's okay. I like to point out those moments where I make mistakes or change something so you guys know that it's okay. Nobody is ever like perfect or flawless. Well, that's supposed to be a sphere. There we go. And then over here, I want you to create a cone. I want the top of the cone, which will be an ellipse, to cover a little bit of the sphere. And the bottom of the cone to be the closest object to me. It is hard to draw so sideways, like the way I sit. I need to just be in front of my sketchbook instead of in front of the computer. I'm trying to do this. Okay, Ms. Goigan's making a lot of mistakes because she's drawing with her body sideways. Okay, let's do another sphere lower on the table. Okay, maybe it comes in front of the bottom of the cube just a little bit. I didn't really make it. Forms?
Well, can I add more detail to the table?
What do you mean? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you're real good, you can add like the thickness of it, even the thickness of the table legs. Do I need to give you guys time to do this, to draw it out, make it look like mine?
Yes.
Okay, you have the remainder of the hour, which is 5 minutes, to get this drawn out. Okay, this is not that big. Okay, here's my hands for scale. I have small hands. Maybe that's stupid. Here's a masking tape roll for size. Okay, it's not that big. You should be able to hold all your forms in your hands like this. Okay, I don't want you to do like huge.